Hi, everybody. It's The Huddle. I'm Scott Taylor. That's John Mackey, the technical director of Football Manitoba. You're always smiling because you got the best job in the world.
What is that?
It's football.
Football all day?
All day. Football, football, football.
Gets a little bit stressful.
Oh, I bet it does. Today we have a non-stressful show.
Yeah.
Although Dave Donaldson would probably say otherwise. Because Dave doesn't like all the... It's always stress for Dave. He's a referee and he knows how I feel about referees. Yeah. I'm one of those leather-lunged idiots up in the crowd screaming at the ref. That'd be me. But Dave Donaldson's on with What the Ref, and he's a great guy, and we have a lot to fun, and it's great to have him around. We've got a friend of yours. Now, did you play with Beeks?
Yes, I did.
At the University of Manitoba? Yep. He was a 190-pound defensive back, and a pretty good one. And now he is a 255-pound Mr. Minnesota, the strongest man in Minnesota.
That Beeks, you know, I remember him as a DB. But what a great football player, and he's setting up a really good program with the Explode. He started it off with Chris McDowell, who I actually trained with when I was with the Bisons as well. So they got a really good program there for the kids, and the nutrition and the proper supplements and the way to treat your body as a football player.
Outstanding stuff. And then we'll have a gentleman on who's very, very interesting, Russell Field, who's from the University of Manitoba. He runs the Canadian Sport Film Festival.
That's right.
There is a tremendous film coming up in Winnipeg on February 9th, and its official title, it's a long one, Fordson Faith Fasting Football.
Yep. It's about the Muslim high school
in Dearborn, Michigan.
In Michigan, that's right.
And it's going to be a very interesting football film, and it'll be at the Park Theater. And we're going to talk to Russell Field about that. And I think we have a trailer for it as well.
We do.
So we'll have a chance to have a look at it. And then a guy who really impressed me, who I watched play in championship weekend, a big defensive end who led the midget league in sacks, Chris Simonson, is with us.
Big boy. Oof. He's a really big boy. And
quick. Yeah. And got some skills.
He gives you a little bit of a peek at how he trains in football out in the small country.
Out in the small country, lugging wood. Yeah, it's a whole different world. Anyway, Chris Simonson will be great. He'll be with us this week as well. So we got lots to do on the Huddle this week, and let's not fool around. Let's get right at it.
All right.
We'll be back. This is the Huddle, community created on Shaw TV. Time now for What the Ref. You already know that because you just saw our intro. I love our intro for this.
I like it too.
Yeah, I like it too. Dave Donaldson, of course, is our guest, as he is every week. Last week we had an easy one. We talked about pyramiding, which I like, but it's illegal. Right. This week is one of the little bees in my bonnet.
So there's a problem that you have?
It's a problem I have only because of probably existentially I have a problem with this. I don't really have a problem with it, but philosophically I have just a bee in my bonnet with this.
Let me know what it is.
Spotting the football.
Okay.
When you as officials spot the ball, and by the way, David referees in the CIS and the CFL, so he's a big-time official. You run the first play from scrimmage. It's a 6 or 7 yard game.
Right.
And you guys just flip the ball amongst each other, and one guy's got his foot down, and you kind of, with your eye, put it in the right place, and there's the spot. And most guys just go back to the huddle, and the defensive guys go set up, and it's like nothing ever happened.
Right.
But then, on the next play, I run 3 yards, 9 inches, and I'm just almost right at the first down marker. You bring out the chains, and you put the chains down, and you see how close the ball is, and then to bring it to where you want to run the next play, you got your finger right on the chain. It's perfectly precise. The play leading up to it was not precise at all, but now you have it perfectly precise.
Okay.
And I just want to know if you guys ever sit down and talk about, boy, that looks dumb, doesn't it?
You know, how can I answer this? You know, honestly, Scott, I've always thought we were precise from the get-go at all levels. First down, second down, and third down. Let me finish.
Well, then why don't you bring the chains in and mark it exactly where you think it should be?
On second down and on first down? Well, you know, for different leagues, you have different amount of officials, right? For amateur, you got 5.
I know why you don't do it. It just looks odd.
But for those at home that don't know, right? The only time we really bring the sticks in, so I think that's probably the most important thing for people to know, is, and it's the referee's choice. So, you know, you'll hear coaches yelling, hey, you know, measure, and then you'll see because when I was rookie ref, you know, I look at the refs and say, are we going to measure? No, it's our choice.
It's the first down.
Right, so if he figures it's a first down, the head ref, he's going to go with it. Yep. And if the head coach is having a conniption, you know, we move on. You know, and that's usually the nature of the whole game and how it works, right, as officials. But it's really key for us to always give the team an opportunity. So we usually measure anyways, especially when it's really close, like you stated. And we are fairly precise in that in that instance. Other than that, I can't debate with you on whether we're precise or not otherwise, but that's what we do. Strictly on third down, we bring out the measuring sticks, and it's the ref's choice.
For fans, and we had this question from Brent Koneski, who's a player coach. He's been a great coach and a great player. You talk about the ball down at the 1 inch line.
Right.
In the Canadian game, you move the ball back.
We go to the 1 yard line.
And that's because of the neutral zone, correct? There has to
pretty
be
much. You have to give a yard, right? So the goal line, which they're trying to get across, that's really where the defense is gonna. That's their marker, right? That's where they can't cross.
Right.
So that's really why, right?
So when we see the Canadian game and the ball is right down at the goal line, it is always going to be played from the 1 yard line.
You'll see that, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. I'm glad you handled my little complaint about spotting football.
That's what I'm here for.
You're a pro.
Well,
What the ref? Dave Donaldson, he's always great every week. We'll be back with lots more on The Huddle. It's community created on Shaw TV. We're back in The Huddle. Scott Taylor with Quito Pobla from Montreal via the Central Michigan Chippewas. Winnipeg Blue Bombers superstar. Are you slot back or wide receiver officially? Have you figured that out yet?
I really haven't figured that out yet.
They're not sure where they're going to play you, are they?
Honestly, I don't really care as long as they throw the
You're
ball.
on the field. Quito Pobla is with us from the Blue Bombers, but you're with us not necessarily to talk about the Blue Bombers, but I don't want to waste the opportunity. But let's go to first things first. You have finished first football, your football camp. Tell us all about it.
Basically, it's a program that runs for 8 weeks. It's a 2-month program. And it gives the kids in Winnipeg the chance to train alongside professionals like myself and learn from those they aspire to be.
Now, what this camp is when you sign up, when you pay your fee and you go to your camp, and the camp is at the soccer complex at the U of M, you're going to do drills that you and Enoch Mwamba and Carl Volley are all going to be involved in. You are basically training with the kids for the football season.
Exactly. We're doing our own training, and we're doing our training to the standard that we uphold our own selves. And the kids that come along our sides, they're kind of held to the same standard. So a lot of kids, I remember I was in high school and I wanted to be a pro. I was in their position, and to have something like this was, if I would have had that, would have definitely been very inspiring and a great experience to have.
Now, I wanted to talk to you about your background, and you come from Montreal. The football in Quebec has grown dramatically over the last 20 years. Yeah. It's almost caught hockey as the second most popular sport in the province.
For sure.
And you had some great opportunities to play there and a great opportunity to go to the U.S. to play. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, well, basically, like you said, I'm from Montreal. I was mostly raised in Florida, and so I was very fortunate as a Canadian to be playing in the States. And one of the things is that I saw the difference between the American system and the Canadian system. And it's so incredible that Canadian athletes are just as good as American athletes. And I feel the thing that lacks especially is the off-season training. And of course, the weather like right now is
it's pretty tough. It's a lot easier to be in Florida playing football than it is here.
Agreed. And that's where myself and Enoch came up, and Carl came up with an idea that we can take something that is centralized in an all-year-round program and centralize it during the off-season and kind of get rid of that excuse of it's cold. Let's just go train and we're going to make it work so we can get better during the off-season.
So you're bringing all the kids down to the soccer complex. You're going to be indoors, so the weather isn't going to have any issue at all.
Exactly.
And you are going to go out onto the field with these kids, and you're going to train as if you were getting set for the Blue Bomber season.
Exactly.
And you're going to run these kids through the same drills. Do they survive? I mean, this is the second year of this camp. So, I mean, did you send everybody home with their moms last year, or did you have to ship them to the hospital?
No, it's light. It's funny because, okay, we take it light for the first couple of days. We let them know what we're going to be doing. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, towards the end of the week, we kind of really do throw them in the fire. Like, we're just like, all right, you guys got it. Now you guys are ready, you know? And it's very up-tempo, and it's very energetic. And
I've seen the videos on your website, finishfirstfootball.com. It's not easy.
No.
And you're not nice to these kids. Well, I mean, you're nice, but you don't. If a guy gets left behind, he gets left behind.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what we're trying to teach them, is that we're not here to be daddy daycare. You know, we're not really here just to watch over them. We're actually there to get them better and hold them to the professional standard and let them know the experience and what it takes to be a professional athlete.
Now, the best part about it is it's not what you would just call a kind of weekend, come out and run around the field and see what you got. This is 8 full weeks, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yep, 3 times a week.
So tell us how the week would go if I was a kid who signed up. What would we do Monday, Tuesday?
So if I had you come,
okay,
I actually want you to come out.
All right.
And I'm going to put you through a drill, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Keep the hearse parked in front.
So if I had you come out, first of all, Mondays are slow down days. We kind of just go through the drills, but we go through the motions. So we teach them, we tell them exactly what the technical stuff that we want for them. And then on Wednesdays, we kind of tell them, okay, we're going to do the same drill that we did on Mondays. We're going to go today, and we're going to bring it, we're going to speed it up a little bit. Because one thing is you can teach somebody something, and then you tell them to go full speed, and then it's like...
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah, they totally forgot what you said.
And what's always been said by scouts is that if you can't play the game at full speed, you can't play pro.
For sure.
So you have to play the game at top speed.
Exactly. And so what we kind of do, we mold them very slow. And then towards the end of our program, you see the intensity pick up. You see the technical, the athletic ability, and their body position change. And we kind of take it slow, but then, like I said, we do throw them in the fire. So it's a mixture of both.
So thrown into the fire, you're going into your 3rd year with the Bombers.
Yes, sir.
You have learned by fire. You played on a team that went to the Grey Cup, and then a team that struggled.
Yeah.
But you had a better year personally.
Yeah.
What are you expecting coming up? I know you'll be in shape because you're doing finish first football.
Yeah, for sure. We got a great, we got the stadium coming in. We had the best fans in the CFL. We had the same team coming back from last year to this year. And I feel we've learned a lot from last year coming into this year. And we have a very good mold with each other, and chemistry's built up since last year, and I really feel that this year is going to be the year.
Do you care who throws you the football?
Honestly, you want to throw me this football? Go ahead. There we go.
You can catch.
I like it.
You don't care who throws you the football, do you?
Not really.
Just as long as they throw it to you. Keto
like
Popa. Finish First Football. Go to finishfirstfootball.com. You can read everything you need to know about an 8-week camp designed to have Manitoba high school and club football players go through the drills with 3 CFL stars. It's a great opportunity, and just go to finishfirstfootball.com. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Huddle. This is something different, but something wonderful. The Canadian Sport Film Festival is coming to Winnipeg February 8th and 9th. It's going to start out with a free screening at the Forks of a hockey movie that we'll talk about in a second. But I'm thrilled to have Russell Field with me because there's a great football movie that's part of this entire Canadian Sport Film Festival. Thanks for coming.
Pleased to be here.
Tell me about the history of the Canadian Sport Film Festival, and then we'll get into this year's films.
Sure. This is our 5th year. It's our 3rd year in Winnipeg. The festival started in Toronto in 2008. I started the festival. And it's slowly growing, and we're
Why did you move to Winnipeg?
Well, because the University of Manitoba gave me a job.
That works every time. So the first film is going to be on the Friday night, and it's a hockey film.
It's, in fact, 5 hockey films. We're screening this at the Forks, and we're thrilled that the Forks is doing this for us. They're building us a screen built out of snow. So we're doing this outdoors. Only in Winnipeg could we pull this off.
Outstanding.
So it's a series of short films. So while Winnipeggers are hardy, they don't have to be that hardy. So we've got about an hour of film footage, 5 different films. One of them a Winnipeg film about the Winnipeg Victorias, Stanley Cup champion in 1903. Right. And we'll be outside, and it's completely free.
Now, there's a football film, and it's quite an interesting one. Its title is interesting. The Fordson Faith Fasting Football is the title of the movie. That's going to take some splaining.
Okay, well, let me do some splaining then, Ricky. Fordson refers to Fordson High School, which is a high school in Dearborn, Michigan. And the context of the film, I think, reveals what the other 3 words, faith, fasting, and football, are about. It's a documentary film about the Fordson High School football team. Fordson is a city in Dearborn, Michigan that's got a significant Arab American population. And the film really sort of brings together the idea that there's this team of young men who want to embrace this all-American pastime and yet are Arab American living in a post 9/11 world and dealing with the stresses of both being Arab American, of being teenagers, of being football players, and what the community does to embrace and challenge. They're trying to be these people.
Terrific. We're lucky. We have a trailer for this film. So can we roll that now? We'll roll the trailer for the film Fordson, Faith, Fasting, Football.
We look like the most undisciplined team ever. Ever. We're so freaking stupid. I am so disgusted right now. Get the ball! Get the ball! Do not say a freaking word!
By rule, we have to eject them.
How many freaking times do we gotta tell you to keep your mouth shut? Don't give the extra push.
In our home, God's first.
You were raised here, you grew up here. This is home.
This is the largest single concentration of Arabs in one city outside the Middle East.
We were living in a safe haven. 2001 shook things up.
First thoughts that came into my mind was, please God, don't let them be Arabs.
We've been called an Islamic school, Hezbollah high school.
Camel jockey, damn Arab.
Saying nigger.
Ugly words and hate. And it's real hate. You can feel it.
You guys can call us whatever you want.
Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.
No matter what religion you are.
You knock them down, make a play.
Fasting the Ramadan, if you can do it, it means you can do anything.
His name is Ali and his friend's name is Osama. Of course it's gonna be discriminated against.
Freaking scoring that we gotta freaking give them touchdowns.
They can't find this guy. How do you like that? Put a guy in the moon, you can't find Osama bin Laden.
You could do something about it. Where's Kausan? You could do something about it. Hassan Saleh. You could do something about it.
We are the luckiest people in the world to be born and live in America. Where else in the world you can achieve your dream? Nowhere.
That's tremendous stuff. That's going to be a great film.
It is a good film, yeah.
So again, this is February 8th and 9th.
Yep.
The hockey is Friday, and then is the 7th, right?
It's the 8th.
Is the 8th, and then you've got 2 films at the park.
We've got 2 films screened at the park, yep.
And
on Saturday.
There's one other film, and that's on Dragon Boat Racing.
Yeah.
My buddy Scott Walker runs the Dragon Boat Racing.
Oh,
yeah.
excellent.
Yeah, it's his little deal. So that's great stuff. Good. So we've got hockey, Dragon Boat Racing, and football.
Yep.
Tremendous. It's the Canadian Sport Film Festival. It's in Winnipeg at both the Forks and the Park Theatre. Russell Field, the founder, creator, the guru, thank you so much for coming. Good day. Welcome back to the Huddle. Got my new hat. Chris Simonson is with me from the North Winnipeg Nomads, and he brought me a toque. I think it looks pretty cool. We don't have the big cases of beer that the McKenzie brothers used to have, but I like my toque. Anyway, I'm very, very fortunate to have as our guest in this segment, Chris Simonson, defensive end with the North Winnipeg Nomads Midgets, correct? I'm right there. And one of the best young players in the province of Manitoba, and a guy who's looking to go exotic in a way, heading out onto the West Coast hopefully to play. Tell us a little bit about your background, about the season you just had with a very good Midgets team in Winnipeg, and we had an opportunity to see your quarterback play, and he was pretty good. So tell us about your background as a football player and where you started and how you got to where you are today.
I started in minor bantam, and I didn't really know how football was going to be. I was just big, so people were telling me to play, and I just started playing, and then people started telling me I was good. So I just thought I'd catch.
It's nice to have people tell you you're good, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I didn't play for a year. I stuck with the provincial program. And then I went Nomads because they're just the closest team. I just wanted to play again. And then
now, it's quite a haul for you to come in and play football. Yeah. You're in St. Laurent, and you play for the Nomads. Yeah. So mom and dad make sure you get to the practices.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a chauffeur, isn't it?
Yeah.
So tell us about this season. It was a pretty good season for the Nomads.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Well, this season we really wanted to do good because we were really disappointed from our last season losing the championship game, and we just wanted to come out and basically dominate the season. And that's exactly what we did. We went undefeated, and we led in lots of things, like Julian led in passing yards. And
that's Julian Whitnick. He's really, really a great quarterback.
Yeah, and then I led in sacks, and yeah, we had a pretty decent offense and a beast defense.
So you want to take this beast defense and take it out to the West Coast. Why do you want to play in Vancouver Island?
Well, they have a really high caliber football league there. I know.
So your buddy Andrew Harris went. And there's an opportunity with the Lions on that club too, because they do take some kids and practice with the BC Lions. That'd be a great step for you.
Yeah, they take 12 rookies a year and bring them out, and the 6 best from there go with practice with the Lions for a week, and then they get to go to a Lion game, and then they come back to play a game back with the team that they're with.
Tell me about the steps you've made to get to a point now where at the end of your midget career you've got so many opportunities. How much work did you do? How much work did you do away from football?
Well, I'm there 4 days a week, and whenever I'm not there, I'm at home always doing stuff.
Lifting at in your own house, in your own gym, yeah.
Well, we always get wood, so we're picking up big trees and stuff, so that's a pretty good workout. It's basically the same thing as going to the gym. So
it's great to be in the wood stove industry, isn't it? Great stuff. Yeah. Chris, where do you want football to take you? How far do you want to go with it?
I want to go to NFL. I want to go as far as I can.
So you're not even thinking CFL, you're thinking NFL.
Yeah, I'm going big.
And right now you're 6'4", 253, 54, and playing defensive end and leading the midget league in sacks.
2 years in a row.
That's pretty great stuff. Chris Simonson, congratulations.
Thank
congratulations on your championship, and congratulations on your decision to go west.
Thank you.
Well done. It's The Huddle, community created on Shaw TV. I'm Scott Taylor, and with me is a hero of mine who used to hang around my basement years ago. That's an old story. Dave Beakley is with Chris McDowell, one of the proprietors of McDowell's and /Explode Football.
Yep.
We got so many things we can talk about. We can go so many different directions, but I think this segment, I'd like to start with you.
All right.
Because you're here today as a guy who goes about, what, 255?
255.
Minnesota's strongest man in 2010, who was also a University of Manitoba Bison defensive back at 190 pounds. If you want to get bigger and stronger, kids, it's the guy to see because he did it himself. Tell me about your background and tell me how you got to be Minnesota's strongest man.
In high school, I was actually a little undersized.
Yeah, you were.
And I was a small high school player, and coaches told me basically if you want to play at the next level, you got to get bigger. And started lifting weights, and I had some great guys to lift with. Brock Campbell, Charles Bazilowicz, who's the coach at Sisler
of course,
now.
Yep.
They were way bigger than me, and I was always playing catch up with them. And you make gains, you put on weight, you get stronger, it feels good. And you kind of got addicted to that feeling. So, you know, I was fortunate enough to play my time at University of Manitoba, continued lifting through that. But you had to maintain a certain weight. Like didn't really want to go over 200 pounds as a defensive back.
Right, of course.
And so you maintain a certain weight, and once I was done playing, you know, you only have this body for so long, you can only use it for so long, so you kind of see what it's made out of. And right now, I'm healthy enough that I can continue pushing limits where using proper diet, proper supplements, and proper lifting, you know, keep going up for a little bit. And
well, through this period, you've not only learned a lot about your own body, but you've learned a lot about the bodies of the people who play sports. And the one thing that's about Explode is if you go to Explode, you can be as big or strong or as hard as you want to be. Tell us a bit about that Explode football program, because it's really exciting.
Yeah, every year has grown since we've started 2007. And it is very, very exciting. It's great watching these kids grow. There's ones that you meet them in junior high and they're graduating high school now, and the changes that they've made is incredible. Explode's a strength and conditioning program, so it's not to be mistaken for a skills complex. You know, we let the coaches coach, and we do our thing in the gym. We brought some fantastic guys on board. We've got Matt Sheridan helping us out, former Bombers offensive lineman, and Justin Finnessy, who we've added this year, is our speed coach. And we haven't had a distinct speed portion in the past, but Justin, who's a former NFL cornerback, former Oregon Duck, he's doing every Saturday is speed work with the kids. And last week was our first one, and fantastic response from the kids. So again, the program grew this year. Diets, we have a supplement sponsor, so that'll help us with giving the kids proper diets and proper nutrition, whether it's just, you know, a greens mix because they don't like to eat their veggies, or protein shake for after the workout.
Because they are kids after all.
Yeah, so, well, even myself.
So tell us how many kids are in the program.
We've got 3 different avenues this year. We tried to break it up so we can get more specific programming for each group. First time ever, we've got a 9 to 12-year-old. It's our Explode Mini. Considering we put it together after everything else, we've got 17 kids in that one, ages 9 to 12. For 13 to 18-year-olds, or our kind of high school age group, and, you know, Pee-wee club ball, we've got 35 guys in that one. And we have an advanced one. That's for kids playing, you know, rifles or bisons, major ball. They work during the day. They don't have the same set schedule as these high school kids. So they're on a bit of a different program. We've got 6 of them, and they come almost any time during the day. It's a bit more, they have a better lifting background, so it's not as hands-on with them. But we're still there to help out, and we give them their programs to do in our facility.
So if kids want to get bigger and stronger, they should come and see you. How do they get in touch with you?
You can go to our website, mcdolesgym.com. The contact is on there, but it's info@mcdolesgym.com. The number, 453-3935. I'm there pretty much from open to close, unless I'm
because you're lifting yourself.
I got to get my work in before these guys come in and do their thing. And that's the great thing, is that all our coaches lift as well. So the more we lift, the more we learn about our bodies, and I can take someone through a program and say, this works, because I've done it. I didn't just read it in a book and hope that what I read was right. I've done everything these kids have gone through, even some of the treacherous stuff, which I don't do anymore. But, you know, the prowler, the tread sled, you know, I did that when I was playing, and I can tell these kids, this is why you do it, you know?
Absolutely.
So it really goes a long way with the program.
Dave Beakley, we're going to come back. We're going to do another segment, probably next week, but we're going to talk more specifically about what it is you do with these kids and how you make them bigger.
Perfect.
So we'll do that next
Thanks,
week.
Scott.
Dave Beakley from Explode Football and McDowell's Gym. We'll have Dave back as our season goes along. Here on The Huddle, it's community created on Shaw TV. We'll be back with lots more football right here. Welcome back. Another tremendous show. What do you do during the show? You just sit and watch everybody.
I love watching. Yep.
John Mackey, the technical director of Football Manitoba, who is back with us to wrap things up. I love the look of this movie, Fordson.
It's a powerful type of trailer that even Michael Moore said everybody should watch this video. Yeah. It's the thing about football, right? It has that powerful, attraction to a lot of people, and it deals with different things in life. Whether it's religion or your culture or your race or whatever. There's a way that football can actually bring all that in, and I think this film really ties.
Yeah, I think everybody should take the time and go and watch Fordson, officially called Fordson Faith Fasting Football, about the kids in Dearborn, Michigan. It to me was a great eye opener watching the trailer. It's truly tremendous, just like Dave Donaldson's tremendous. He puts up with so much baloney from me. What the ref?
You're always giving him a hard time.
Yeah, well, it's always fun to do that. Chris Simons's a big kid, eh?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, nice, big, strong kid. He's going to be a good player wherever he goes. And Dave Beakley was with us, and that was an eye-opener, too, because Beaks is really sharp, isn't he? He just really knows what it takes. I've known Dave for a long time. He was friends with my kids. I didn't know he was the physiologist that he is. He really knows.
Pretends to be.
Well, that's not fair. I was really impressed.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Beaks.
Your teammates, old teammates can do that.
He's built a really good program
really
out with the Explode program. Matt Sheridan helps him out there, a former Bomber, and Chris McDowell always produces athletes for the sport of football that we really do appreciate Beakley coming onto the show.
Yeah, they do a great job. Beaks is going to come back next week as well. So is Dave Donaldson. He gets another run at me. Hey, we've had fun. John Mackey, Scott Taylor, this is The Huddle, community created on Shaw TV. See you next week.